Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. They want me to start out with the date. Today is 10/24/22. I do have my music on, and they just had me put on my station's called Tap Pop. So it's going to be a mix of many different people. If you don't know me, I get messages through music as well as the cards and just reading the energy. So it comes from many different sources for me, but music is a big one of them. So every once in a while I'll stop and listen to the lyrics or the music, whatever is in it is drawing my attention in, and it'll add to the message. Okay? If you're new here, thank you for being here. If you would, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I have a video coming out. Let's band together to bust through these algorithms and get the message out. If something here resonates with you, you have people in your field, you have people in your tribe that have the same vibration as you for, whatever experience it is that you're resonating with, or whatever message you're resonating with. And so it may resonate with them as well. 111 on my recording. It brings us all together. They're also they're reminding me about unification consciousness, which is a concept in Holy Fire Reiki in the masterclass. I just had a masterclass this weekend that was just massive. It was so epic. These people that are coming are just stepping their game up. They're making me step my game up, and I'm just so full of gratitude and love and spirit and peace and all of that from these experiences that I'm honored to teach and be a part of. So I don't have any master classes lined up. I don't have any online classes lined up right now, but I typically set mine up as a request from other people. So if you have always wanted to study Reiki or take a Reiki class and the Holy Fire Reiki appeals to you, if my energy as a teacher appeals to you, let me know and I will set up an online class for you. And then what that does is it sets the stage for everyone else that is ready and is being called to share that experience with you for whatever similar vibration that they have connected to you. And to the Reiki, the Holy Fire is what brings it together, and the ignition of the Holy Fire in you, igniting the energy of that class, calls forth the ignition of the Holy Fire in other people too. So it's really beautiful the way that it works. So if you want to do that, just get a hold of me. Just email me. My email is in the box below, and I'll set that up for you. No matter what level it is, if it's level 1, level 2, masterclass, or even the Karuna masterclass. Level 2, obviously you have to have a level 1, but I teach Holy Fire is Sui Reiki. So, you can be from any lineage, any version of Reiki for any of the lower levels. If you want to upgrade to the Holy Fire, your level 1 doesn't have to have been Holy Fire, whatever Reiki it was. You just have to have done the level 1. Okay? All right. Let's tune into the daily energy and find out what you guys going on. I had a couple of them flip over here in the deck. This deck that I'm using right now is the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. They're reminding me about some of you are wanting to learn to read cards a little bit more, who are tuning into your intuition, and reading cards is going to help you to strengthen and fortify your intuition. Not necessarily that you would end up being a card reader for other people in that way, but it's like an exercise in tuning into your intuition and strengthening it. So it's a method for that. So I also teach people how to read cards and stuff too. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll set up a class for that. But that's why I had to show you this. And it's almost like validation for some of you that is part of your path. That is part of the roadmap for coming into your intuitive, finding out what your intuitive gifts are and how to apply them to your life and to the world around you. So are you going to go out and read cards at events and festivals and stuff like that? Maybe not. Maybe it's just on a daily basis getting guidance. It's just another way for you to tap into source. And because you're visual, because you have an artist's mind or, are very clairvoyant, it's going to activate that in you in an easier way. Visual cues, okay? they're reminding me about my level 1 Reiki class, because afterwards my gifts, my ability to read cards and, tune into messages and the universe and decode and sense and read energy and stuff like that just exploded after my level 1 Reiki class. So it may be that for some of you that is your path, and the Reiki for you is it's not necessarily going to be something that you do for other people or on other people as a healing modality. It's a spiritual path that leads you and gives you access to higher knowledge and connection with source in a way that that only the Reiki can guide you to. So it's like an activator, tunes your radar into higher knowledge in a way, the higher knowledge of you, the message is coming from inside of you. So it's like Reiki and then card reading and then, intuitive classes or breath work, or it's like your path is being laid out for you right now, which makes sense that I'm using these cards, the enchanted map. There's something about your map. You're wanting to know what that looks like. And it's like you got to take that first step. The map unfolds itself as it goes. So it's not set in stone right now. There is a first step that you're being guided to. And beyond that, it's almost like you can't imagine the scope of what's coming for you and what your map is meant to show you until you take that first step. If someone had explained to me what was going to happen in my life and the world that I was going to start to access and be a part, and the depths of me that I was going to access after having taken a Reiki class, I would not have believed them. I would have been like, that is very, very woo-woo and like quantum physics and shit like that. Like, that is beyond my scope of understanding, really. I would have been like, I don't know that I would have signed up for it at that point. Not out of fear, but out of just, I don't know, not necessarily believing that those things are possible. That comes from a place of me not believing in myself. And so many people have that, this, not understanding this scope of their light. So all I had to do was just take that first step. It was just that first step. I just felt called to it. I just felt drawn to it. There was no logical explanation for it. I didn't know much about the metaphysical or esoteric world. And it was just, I had had a card reading by someone and they told me or confirmed for me that I was an empath, and she kind of explained a couple of things about it, and it was just right at the beginning of my awakening. And it really appealed to me. It explained so much about my life and about me and the way that I see things or the way that I feel things or the way that I sense things. And I just leaned into what it felt so good. It felt so resonant to connect in with that understanding on a level that I never had before. It was so freeing. It was so liberating. And so I just followed my cues after that. I just followed my cues. And the next step for me was I was looking up what an empath was, and it led me to this, it led me to this, it led me to this. And then it led me to a page about Reiki and energy work and things like that, reading energy and energy work. And so the next step was Reiki. I was like, this is really interesting to me. I had never even had a Reiki session done on myself. And I just went and I signed up for a class that popped up for me. And, it was on from there. So the energy of that, it led me into a healing journey for myself. Heal the ouch. Removing the traumas and the programs that create an environment where you're continuously out of alignment, 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 because these programs don't align with you, these ways of thinking. There's something that you're healing right now. This is the number 38 card too. It breaks down to a number 11, which they're showing me is also breaking down to a number 2. So whatever those numbers mean for you, 38 could be how old you are, how old they were, if it's another person that you're thinking of, my person is 38 or something like that, or it happened when you were 38, or your mom was 38 or something like that. Something significant about numerology right now. 1010 on my recording, there's a validation for that. Something in the numerology. Maybe even today's date. Maybe that's why I had to tell you today's date. Look up the numerology when it comes to today's date. And there's some sort of, for some of you, you may be even guided to some sort of energy healing, Reiki, to heal a physical issue with you or with a relative of yours. So there's many different options here for what could resonate for you. They're just showing me that my mom has COVID right now too. A friend of hers just was in the hospital for bronchitis, and I offered my healing, my Reiki healing to them, even though they're not really kind of in that world. And I said, this is the perfect time for Reiki, and I can send you some, and blah, blah. And they were open to it. They were seriously open to it. So for some of you, it may be pursuing something like that in order to, because there's a physical issue that you're wanting to come at a different angle, or for someone else who might be sick right now or something. Okay. There's a medicine in you. There's a medicine in you that you're keeping very close to yourself. Now, they're also reminding me about, in my masterclass yesterday, the Holy Fire said something about being a suit of armor, that the Holy Fire itself can be this suit of armor that wraps itself around you and does the work of protecting your field, allowing in what it should, removing what shouldn't be there, protecting you from what shouldn't. There's something here that you're keeping very close, like your abilities, your gifts, your intuition, the energy of you being psychic. There's something very, 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 very powerful about you that you're in the process. So this eclipse that's coming up, I'm pretty sure it's the solar eclipse that's coming up. I feel like there's some sort of belief about yourself, your worth, who you are, some kind of distorted belief about yourself or view of yourself that is coming to the light for you to witness, so that you can really tune into your gifts and their value in this world. You have something so important to give to this world. There is some kind of medicine that you have that you're meant to give to this world. Now, for some of you, so we've got 38, 39, it's the energy of moving forward. So once you find what that block is, there's this program that says, it's like not getting your own needs met. You have to put everybody else's needs first. When you're a natural healer, when you have medicine to give, sometimes it becomes this kind of obligatory, this obligation to put other people's needs first. Your medicine comes from your ability to see you, to put your own needs first, to grow, to heal, to get into the shadows, to do the work first, so that you can help other people. But it feels like you're holding that gift closer to yourself and not sharing with other people, not sharing your gift with other people out of fear. And it creates this imbalance in you, because part of your purpose, part of your map, is to share your gifts with others. Like the song that's on right now is Victoria's Secret. I met Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. This obligation, a woman's role. There is a program right now about a woman's role as a mother, as a wife, in society. It's it's like an old program that's coming up for light workers, for you who is gifted and you are a light worker, to see the program inside of yourself. It's a pattern, it's an ancestral pattern, in order to remove that outdated, it's just not in alignment. It's not in alignment with you. We cannot put anybody else's needs first before we put our own, before we do the work on ourselves. So whatever is stopping you from taking the time for yourself, deciding what you need first, but other people are going to say this, or they expect me to come for Thanksgiving, or, everything inside of me is telling me that I shouldn't go, but, it's an obligation, this family, and everybody else would be so mad at me. And, everybody else's emotions you've taken on as your responsibility. Stuff like that. It is holding back the depth of your gifts. So I feel like during this eclipse season, this first one is important to finding that shadow, where that comes from, where the program of that comes from. And it feels like it's in the maternal line. So it's a program handed down by your mother, but also her influence, the influence of her father's point of view on her. That stops you from putting your needs first. And then in turn, for some of you, it's the opposite. For some of you, it is only being able to see there's like this your needs are never able to be fulfilled. And so you're constantly trying to fill your needs and fill your needs and fill your needs. And it's never good enough. It's never enough. You feel like you're not enough. And it stops you from helping other people to the capacity that you should. You're almost spending too much time on yourself for some of you. Excuse me. Solar plexus clearing. They may be telling me that that's part of my pattern. But it comes from, like, they're showing me my mom's not over doting, but she does have a tendency to overgive because of this program of putting everybody else's needs first, and creates an environment sometimes of like the spoiled child who, it's only about their needs. And they forget to turn it back around and balance that with giving back, giving back, giving back, giving back. Okay, so for some of you, you have isolated yourself in a world of solitude and going within, and it's like you've mastered that space, but that's your comfort zone. You are an introvert, or you see yourself as an introvert, but really you function best in a partnership. And so you've done the work on yourself. And sometimes going within, doing healing work on yourself, always being it's like being overly self-aware almost, where you look at somebody else and you take on the responsibility of their actions and say, okay, well, what did I do? Or what is that showing me? And blah, blah, blah. And that is the way to freedom and self-empowerment. And there are some times where we need to set boundaries and know that this is about me setting boundaries. This is not that there's something wrong with me and this person's behavior is mirroring that. It's just that they're challenging my boundary, and I need to separate and say, that's their energy, that's not my energy. Some of you, it's so hard to navigate when you're an empath, and it's hard to navigate relationships as an empath because you feel so deeply and are so in tune with other people's emotions and energies, and can feel and read them, and are really wanting to do something about that or balance it or whatever. Part of your goal, your mission in life, part of your roadmap is learning how to function in relationships. You will be in a committed partnership, a romantic committed partnership, also a business partnership I'm seeing, that itself teaches the world something that is a massive gift, not only to you, but to the world around you. The relationship, the dynamic of it functions to raise the vibration on the planet. And there's something in you that protects yourself from. It feels like heavy responsibility for it to work out. I have to make it work. If it doesn't work, the vibration on the planet, like the vibration on the planet lowers? That's no pressure at all. You know, I got to make, this relationship has to work. That fear comes from the imprint of commitment and marriage and staying in it at all costs and putting everybody else's needs first. It's based off of the old paradigm of relationships. I did a live, I don't know, maybe over a month ago or maybe longer than that or something. Just go through the titles in my videos, in the live videos. One of them was titled, "Let's Talk About the New Dynamic of Relationships." And there's something in that video, it feels like, that you are tuning into and working on the program of commitment and marriage and what it used to mean versus what's appropriate for this now time period. Sometimes putting everybody else's needs first means keeping up appearances. And those keeping up appearances lowers the vibration of the planet because it's not real, it's not authentic, it's not aware. We're talking about conscious, aware dynamics in relationships. You are healing something that makes you fear authentic, aware relationships because it means vulnerability. It means being fully seen. That's terrifying. But it is the new way, and it's exactly what you've been asking for. But there is a fear of vulnerability that you're on the cusp of. I just heard really warming with the sun. You're warming with the sun. That's what I hear. You're on the verge of trusting, finding peace in who you are, finding peace in your authentic self, and stepping outside of the human programming of feeling naked. It's something about naked, which is just interesting. I was talking to somebody in the class about that yesterday too. Physical issues, physical body issues, feeling sensitive about your body. It also equates to the energetic, not concept, but the energetic imbalance of the fear of being seen. So you have a fear of being seen physically, but also a fear of being seen energetically. There's a fear in you that you're going to be seen for only your human aspects and not for your divine aspects. That they're not going to see the real you. You're afraid of them seeing the egoic you and not the divine you. You're in the process of balancing the two. I'm going to dig into that a little bit more, okay? Let's go on to an extended reading, and we'll dig into that a little bit more and find out what, I want to find out more about this relationship. I'm going to find a little bit about timing for when that's coming in. For some of you, it's already here. And also where this fear is coming from, what this block is here, and we'll send some energy to it to help you move through it and to find peace. There's something about finding peace, okay? All right, if you're interested in the extended reading, click on the link down in the box below, and I'll see you guys over there. Love you.